Okay, so this is what showed up on my test. There was about 5 or 6 things, and I have healed from everything except for one. So I will tell you the list of things, and then I'll tell you a list of the herbals and homeopathics my doctor put me on, as well as what type of diet I used in order to heal those things that were making me sick. So I had leaky gut, and I still have leaky gut. That's the one thing that I'm still healing from. And I'll make a separate video about why I have not healed from leaky gut yet. H. pylori showed up in that test. Note that in the last video I put out, I let you all know that I basically got a false negative. I tested false for H. pylori in my upper GI endoscopy. But it was hiding out in my stool, just like my chiropractor said. So I want to encourage you, if you receive a false result, either on your breath test or if you have an endoscopy and you receive a false result for H. pylori, but you're still having problems, you're still having symptoms, please continue to seek answers, and don't stop until you get the answers that you need, because you should not be having symptoms if you have tested false for H. pylori. You will definitely be able to tell when it's gone from your body. So, I did receive a false negative, and I thank God that I took this additional test that showed me where I found what was really going on, and I found that bacteria was inside of my stomach. So, also parasites were on my test, and I just want to point this out that most people do have parasites. If you eat meat, you got parasites. But usually, if you have a healthy gut, it kind of keeps everything out. If you have a healthy gut flora, you have a normal, stomach acid level, you don't have low stomach acid, and you're really taking care of your gut and you're eating foods that are easy to digest and stuff like that, then, those other things, bacteria and parasites, they can't get through. Your gut is sealed. But when you have leaky gut, and a lot of people have leaky gut and don't know that they have it, you have leaky gut, low stomach acid, dysbiosis, and stuff like that. Those things they creep and seep through your gut lining, and then they go on to basically just destroy your body. So it's important to get all of that in check. I also had a high tongue twister, a B-glucuronidase level, which showed me that my body was not eliminating toxins. And I had a very high level of estrogen that my body was not eliminating. It wasn't detoxing correctly, and so that was very alarming and very serious, because that could have been a whole nother story. But thank God that we found out when we found out, and we're able to treat it immediately. So I'll tell you what my results were in just a second. I retested. So leaky gut. The other thing that showed up was that I had dysbiosis and adrenal fatigue. So that was basically it. So I've healed from everything except for one, and that's leaky gut. So I'll make a separate video about why I haven't healed from leaky gut yet. Because I know why I haven't healed from leaky gut yet. And I still have work to do. But I'm going to read you a list of herbals and homeopathics my doctor put me on, and I'll explain to you what type of diet I ended up going on, in like an elimination diet. He also ordered me an allergy test at the same time. as a stool test, and that was because he felt like there might be some food sensitivities or allergies that could be contributing to the inflammation of my gut, which there were a lot of them. So, I went through this list. I'm going to go through this list, and so everything that I'm reading off, I took and I eliminated gluten, I eliminated soy, I eliminated dairy, I eliminated gluten, corn. No, I didn't eliminate corn. Gluten, soy, eggs. That's what it was. Gluten, soy, eggs, dairy, and some of my sensitivities. So I eliminated all of those foods for 3 months. And then I went through this list, and I actually have a couple I'm going to show you. So he had me on ograpepsin, and that was to support my digestion. Also, the digestive-zymes were also for digestion, so I take these before I eat. And I also want to give my children some because they work really well. I think they have digestive aids for kids. AF Betafid, which supported my gallbladder and liver during this process. He had me on betaine hydrochloride, which helped to raise my stomach acid, and it worked. Adrenal desiccated, and that was to treat the adrenal fatigue. This was hypo vitamin D, because my vitamin D levels were like shot. I was beyond deficient. I was probably at like a 7 or 8 or a 9, something like that, like way under the sufficient marker. And also he put me on. I'm looking through my list here. Oh yeah, calcium D-glucarate, which was to help detoxify my body and bring down the B marker. It definitely eliminated the excess estrogen that my system was not able to eliminate on its own. So I retested last week, and everything is normal. No H. pylori, no dysbiosis, no parasites, no high estrogen markers. Everything is normal except for the leaky gut. So I just wanted to share my story. Hopefully my story will help someone who might be going through the same things. I also took probiotics while I was on this regimen. I did this for 2 months, and everything was gone. So you don't have to take antibiotics to get rid of H. pylori. I did not take not one antibiotic. I knew that would counter what my goal was. My goal is to increase my stomach acid. When you take antibiotics and stuff are horrible on the gut, okay? They totally mess up your good gut bacteria and your stomach acid levels. So the underlying issue for me was my stomach acid. I had low stomach acid, and I knew that by taking antibiotics, it would just counter everything. It would counter me healing. And so people were like, thought I was crazy for not taking antibiotics, because there was some people who was like, you better get on antibiotics soon, this is very serious, but God told me no. My God told me to do this naturally. And so I'm a walking testimony of a manifestation of what happens when you're obedient to God and a manifestation of healing. I'm healed, and I have one more thing that I'm working on, and I'm going to do a separate video as far as what I plan to do to completely heal my gut. I know exactly where I messed up at. And, oh yeah, this is something else my doctor put me on. So